Mark, today we're talking a lot about what we've done in the New York City market here at SOLiD, and a lot of that was done with you and because of your efforts. So today I'd like to talk to you a little bit about the humble beginnings and early starts of your career in New York City and also your partner, Jeff Just.
Right. Well, Scott came to me 19 years ago looking for help because he had this gentleman, Jeff Just, who's my past and current business partner. Jeff was trying to deploy outdoor networks to cover Central Park, and Scott realized this was going to be a long time in waiting, so he introduced me. I started working with Jeff. Scott and I continued to work on other projects together at various different, mostly corporate, headquarters like Pfizer and things of that nature, News Corporation of America, and ultimately that led us to winning a fiber franchise in the city to do pole top deployments of antennas, which then we leveraged into the New York City subway system. So the company I was with, Dynamic Communications, spun off and created Transit Wireless specifically for the subway. And after a long and exhaustive RFP process, primarily because of the environmental requirements of equipment in the subway, which you would think it's cold underground, it's not, because the subway cars themselves their heat exchangers are blowing heat off to keep the subway cars cool, so people aren't riding around in basically ovens. So you end up sweating in the subway platform, not in the system. So we needed rugged enough equipment to survive that environment, and the only product that met the requirement was SOLiD. So it's now, I believe, 279 underground stations that have SOLiD units all throughout them. It makes it work. And then following that, the sister company of Transit Wireless, we went on to Toronto. So the Toronto network is also being deployed with the same SOLiD product because it was found to be very, very reliable. And trust me, when you're dealing with a transit environment, they check every thread, bolt, paint chip samples to make sure that you're going to have something that survives in that environment. So actually Toronto went to New York and talked to New York, and New York said this product is working great. Subsequent to that, we've deployed a lot more stuff throughout New York City, and it's become not only a long-lasting friendship, but a great.
So back in 2000 when we met, and then later in 2003. The franchise that Mark was talking about, a lot of people don't remember, is the Deweese contract because it's sort of, I think it's met its whole evolution, right? It came and went a little bit, and that's what got the whole Transit Wireless thing going.
Right.
SOLiD didn't come to the United States until late 2009, early 2010. So going back to those 2003 meetings that I recall, it was a carrier consortium. What are your thoughts on how carrier consortiums work versus doing work with, I believe your company now is called Bandwidth Logic, right? And working with the third-party owners, because we're here at WIA, which a decade ago was a tower company show, right? And then DAS sort of made its way into it. So how do you see that whole carrier consortium versus 3PO, third-party owner model, sort of panning out?
Well, the carrier consortium model is it works for them, but they're basically going in with their interest alone. A third-party operator like Bandwidth Logic and others out there, we go in there, and our goal is to do a good job for the enterprise and for the carrier. So we're truly neutral, and the customer, the end user that's running around in the building. Sometimes it may take a little longer because the carriers are hesitant, but it ultimately works out better in the long run, in my view.
Yeah. Mark, thank you so much for coming by and talking with us and sharing some of your thoughts and experience.
Thanks for having me. Good to see you again, pal.
Looking forward to another 19 years.
Yes, sir.